funny.
Oh, man. All right. Welcome back to the Richdiet podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Bills.
Zico, you already know.
I already know another episode that we're cooking up. And today we got a very talented brother. This guy's been in the Canadian Army Force. He's the first to graduate at university out of his family. He is season 11 Big Brother Canada winner, the champion himself. Welcome to the podcast, Ty McDonald.
Thank you. You guys did your research, damn.
Yeah.
We
had to.
I appreciate that. Thank you
It's
for having
only
me.
right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
How you feeling today, brother?
Feeling good. Life's good. Life's been busy since coming off the show for sure, but a lot of good changes, meeting a lot of great people like yourself. So
That's
I'm just,
awesome, man.
you know, taking it day by day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's life like after the show? Like, what is it?
The first few months is definitely like a blur. You come out and before you go in the house, they kind of give you a heads up like it's gonna get crazy when you come out.
Yeah.
For me, I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
yeah, whatever. I'm like, it's not gonna be that. It's whatever.
It's like
one,
jail.
one away for a little while. Okay, I'll come back.
Yeah,
But it's
whatever.
crazy. It's like the best way I can put it is like I don't know if you've ever had surgery.
Hopefully
Okay.
not yet.
So,
But
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had surgery before,
Procedure.
and when you get, I remember they told me to count down when they're giving me the anesthesia or whatever, and then you fall asleep, and then the next thing you know, you wake up, and you're like, everything's done. So you have like this time gap of what
missing.
the hell is
Yeah,
happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very short. That's a couple hours.
Right.
You do that for. I was in the house for close to three months.
Wow. 3 months.
So
Wow.
so I go in and I come back out. I'm like, they're telling me all the things that have been happening over 3 months, and it doesn't seem like a long time. It's just 3 months,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
90 days.
Well,
Yeah.
when you realize how much can happen in that span of time, especially coming off of COVID, because when we went in, it was masked up, everything. When we came
shit.
out, everything was done.
Right.
So it was like life was normal again. I was like, holy. So the past couple of years, we've been cooped up, you know, washing hands every second.
Yeah.
And now it's like regular life again. So I came out, I'm like, holy, there's so much that has changed. So
Yeah.
it really was like a real, just a whirl of,
Damn.
Did it feel like almost like the Truman Show?
what's that?
The
Yo, you don't know the Truman Show?
You never seen the
Nah,
Truman
nah.
Show?
It's like this. It's like a reality. It's like he's living in someone else's like TV reality sort of thing. It's like a life in a life.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's.
You know that movie with Jim Carrey? Truman
I'm probably
Show?
butchering it right now.
If I see
or
it, maybe I
butchering
know.
it.
I
You
feel
gotta
like-
watch it.
Yeah.
So
The Truman
he's
Show.
like almost like in this utopia.
Yeah.
And like everyone's watching him,
Yeah.
but like everything is kind of.
Is he on like a movie set?
Scripted.
Yes, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, I might know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, it's very, it's so hard to explain to someone who hasn't been through it, and that's why I feel like before we went in, they're like, you're gonna have trauma bonds. Okay, I don't know what the fuck a trauma bond is. Okay,
Yeah.
but
What the hell
when
is
it
that?
got off, it's like you think that going on the show is like it's all fun and games. You're at the height of your life. It's so exciting. Everything's happy, good. But playing a game like Big Brother, it's a game of manipulation.
Yeah.
A lot of it's manipulating, lying to get ahead because there can only be one winner.
Interesting. Yeah.
Someone like me, I'm a very straightforward person. I don't like to lie, but that got me into a lot of trouble early into the game, and it turned me into a villain. I don't know if you guys watched my season,
No,
but like,
I've seen some comments.
that's what I'm saying.
People are coming at you. in
killing me.
comments.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like I understand because of the way it comes across on TV, but people don't understand the reality of certain decisions I had to make.
Yeah.
And there's one particular situation I won't get into because it's a fucking long ass story, but that really turned a lot of people against me. And the way I handled that situation was from a pure place. And I did it because I was trying to look out for somebody,
Yeah.
and it flipped on me. So me,
Usually how that happens. Yeah.
so me trying to be a good person, and then it turning on me the way it did, and then everybody is looking at me a certain way,
Yeah.
not realizing why I did it.
Yeah.
It starts to make me question, like, damn, like I can't be myself here. I gotta play the game they're playing.
You gotta play
Yeah.
the game. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So now my way of thinking switched. I'm like, okay, let's play the game then.
Right.
And that's when I started
Yeah.
really maneuvering, and I took
Yeah,
control of the
yeah,
house,
yeah.
and people don't realize that. But yeah, just all that to say is like, you know, when you get back out of the house into reality,
Into reality.
you can't be that. I can't be the
Oh,
same
I
person.
see,
The same
okay.
person that won the game. I can't be that anymore.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
you're also second guessing. Okay, can I go back to my old stuff because that didn't work too well for me the past 3 months?
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
a conflicting time in my life where I'm like just trying to like
Adjust.
adjust and learn to trust again,
Yeah,
and learn
yeah,
to be
yeah.
myself again without potential repercussions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's a real thing then.
It's a real thing, bro. And
And it's
like,
called what? Trauma bond?
they call it trauma bonding. Yeah.
Trauma bonding. Wow.
Especially me and my boy. It was me and my right hand guy.
Yeah.
We're the most hated on the season by far. Like people are killing us
Dude,
online.
I've seen the comments.
It's
They
crazy.
They were like,
Killing
yo,
us.
Ty is arrogant.
All X, Y, and Z.
Oh,
That's
he's an
minor. They're
asshole.
saying I'm abusive and I hit women. I wouldn't be surprised if you've hit women. I'm like,
Yeah.
crazy.
Jeez.
But like I said, I have to say, like, my cast, you know, they understood at the end of it all
Yeah.
that I wasn't everything that they were trying to push me to
Right,
look
right,
like.
Right,
And
right.
The at the end of the game, you know, the people who've gotten evicted are the ones who vote for the winner.
Yeah.
And I won 8-1, so that tells you how people felt about me. Because if I was
Yeah.
really all these things, I wouldn't have got all those votes.
Yeah.
I was sitting beside someone from the East Coast, and the East Coast, they love them.
Right, right.
Like, so if you be the East Coaster, you're valid. You know what I mean? So I sat beside that person, and I won 8-1. So
Yeah, yeah.
that should tell you enough. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Is it like the stigma of being a Toronto man on this show
Oh, 100%.
affects you?
Yes, but I was proud to be that. Like, I went on there knowing that I was going to be different from any other archetype they had. Unless there was another
Right.
guy from Toronto,
Yeah.
there's no one's like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
I really like leaned into that. Like, I obviously on a day-to-day basis, I code switch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to know how to navigate
Yeah.
the rooms that I'm in. I'm not gonna act one way, you know, with my boys in the hood, and then act that same way with people who are corporate,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I gotta understand who I'm talking to and how to navigate.
Yes.
So, but with that said, when I was going in, I wanted to be a representation of where I'm from and
Right.
the people that are looking up to me because they're like, yo, I know this guy.
Yeah.
He's doing something that I never even thought is possible for us, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on there with my do-rags. I'm out there sagging a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being a Toronto man, talking the way I talk.
Yeah.
And, you know, people will judge me for that, especially the viewership of Big Brother Canada. There's a certain audience that watches that show.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for them to be like, oh,
Who's this?
you know, who's this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just made it very easy for them to make me the villain.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change anything because at the end of the day, the person that I walked in was the same person that I walked out as, and I'm proud of that person.
That's good. That's
so
good.
I wouldn't
So
change
you
it.
weren't
I wouldn't-
affected by the trauma.
Nah. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's a real thing. I could feel like, okay,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
the tension
Yeah.
around
yeah.
this, but I'm standing 10 toes on who I am as a
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
You're not
awesome.
changing me. So
That's awesome. So, how did the cast, like at the end of the show after you won, did you guys reconnect? Do you guys like how did like,
It's
does
actually-
the trauma bonding like affected everybody?
it's
or-
crazy. Yeah, like there's some people that got it a lot worse.
Yeah.
I was blessed enough to win the show, so that there was something positive for me to fall back
Mm-hmm.
on. However, if you didn't win the show, you lost.
yeah.
And not only do you have to deal with the trauma, but you gotta deal with the fact that you went out there, got traumatized and lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Shit.
it's crazy to. I'm very empathetic and understanding to my entire cast and anybody who goes through it. It's not even just on Big Brother. Any reality shows, like you have those same types of challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of my castmates are still dealing with it to this day. So almost 2 years out.
Wow.
And it's like some of them won't talk to each other because they're like, yeah, I remember when you said this, that, the third.
Yeah.
But
Took it personal.
yeah, but even if they get past, let's say me and you were in the house together and you said something to me that crossed me, because I might feel silly for how it was looking to the public,
Yeah.
because I'm still so worried about the public's opinion, I'm not fucking with you still. I'm holding it against you. Even though we
Yeah.
hash it out and we say, yeah, we're cool,
Yeah.
I still
don't
feel like
hold
my
that
pride is like,
Yeah.
I can't let this guy seem like he got one up on me in front of the public, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of people still deal with that kind of stuff where they don't want to let things go.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
yeah, it does follow you for a while, and I think everyone's journey is going to be a different length of time.
Yeah.
Some people might never let it go. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I try my best to just. It is what it is. It's a game, one, but two. At the end of the day, it's like everybody went in there with a different objective. I think some people went on that show to be a character.
Yeah.
They had being a character more at the forefront than winning the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they wanted to play to the cameras. They wanted to make
Right,
have their moments.
right.
I didn't care about that. I'm going on there
Right.
to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the money wasn't everything, but the representation, I needed to be in the end. And
Yeah,
that's what I was
yeah.
telling. I said, listen, I don't care if I sit beside the strongest player and lose. As long as I'm in those final 2 seats and said I made it to finale,
Yeah.
I made it. I
Yeah,
won.
Yeah.
In my eyes. So
And
that,
what was the final prize? Like, what do you
yeah, so
win?
$100,000 cash.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's like
Canadian? Oh,
Canadian, yeah, right, Canada.
Sorry.
Tax-free?
tax-free.
Tax-free, really?
So,
Wow.
so 100K.
That's good.
And yeah, it was a bunch of bonuses. I won't get into.
Yeah, that's
100,000
cool.
was the
Yeah,
grand
yeah.
prize though. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they give it to you all in one lump sum or like?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
One shot.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So you only get paid if you win. If you don't win, do you get paid? Like there's a whole stigma of like,
yeah.
participation fee.
There's certain
something?
I
Yeah,
can't
like-
get too much in details.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a stipend though, so you're gonna
Okay.
make sure your bills are paid. Like you're not just gonna go
okay.
away and disappear and then.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
always wondered that
yeah.
because like I'll see these shows and I'll Google them. I'll be like, I think was it 90 Day Fiance or one of them. I was like, how much do these guys get per
Yeah.
episode? Because
I'm sure every show is different.
You know, yeah.
But we get a daily stipend, so
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
you're taken care of regardless. You're not gonna
Oh,
ever
okay.
go broke or nothing like that.
So
while you're away.
I wonder, like, are you like after
Sorry,
that
I'm sorry.
experience, are you like interested in joining any other show?
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
Reality TV
1,000%.
show?
I'm ready to go right now.
Saying you got
Ready to
that
go?
show
Ready to
fever
go.
now.
Yeah,
You're ready.
like it's such a unique experience, and I feel like I said, unless you go through it, you don't understand the euphoria that's behind it. And I think it's a double-edged sword because just as high as it can be, that's where the lows come from.
Yeah.
Because once it's over, you're like, damn, like what now? Like how do I live up
Yeah.
to that again?
Yeah.
There's like a peak.
There's a peak, and with that, it's just like anything that goes up has to come down at some point.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a roller coaster, is what I explain it
Yeah,
as.
yeah.
And you have you're at the top of the roller coaster, you're like, oh my god, this is sick. And you get to the bottom and say, oh crap, like this is super low.
Yeah.
So but I would do it
That's
over
awesome.
and over again, man, because I feel like
These games.
the problem with the Beast games is I feel like a lot of that is by chance. I don't want to do games that are chance.
I see.
I need to have
see.
some type of edge.
strategy.
Something that
of course,
I
of
can
course.
like I have control over. I don't want to be sitting there and like my fate is in the hands of just luck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Would I would never turn it down. I would absolutely
Yeah.
I would absolutely do it. But I would love to. I prefer games where I guess I can have some strategy and figure out okay, how am I gonna maneuver this and not like let God pull me around. And
What about this one? Squid Games.
it's the same situation. I feel like Squid Games is a big bag, so I'd be over there.
It's a big
But-
bag,
but-
man. It's life or death.
Yeah, the problem is like I said, I need to have some control.
Yeah,
I gotta have some
yeah.
control. Yeah.
What about I mean, this is a little far left, but like Love Island or one of
Nah,
those.
I'm
Like,
not into the. I'm not trying to knock anybody, but I'm not into the dating things, bro. I feel
Yeah,
like,
no,
in my eyes, I
bro,
think they're corny.
I think
That's
so
just
too.
me, though. That's just me. Like, I'm not gonna go on there and make my family look crazy, on these shows.
Bro,
like that,
I
It's not
watch
me.
those because it's just
I love
it's
those
funny to me.
They're-
Like
100%. The entertainment value is there.
Yo,
It's
when
there,
they're
but I
crying,
just-
it's even worse. Oh my god.
It's just not for
Like,
me.
even the new one, Temptation Island.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
the one. That's
watched
the
that
one.
one.
What's Temptation? Love?
That
Yeah,
one is
whatever.
Temptation-
Yeah, I think my
Love
girl-
Island is
Yo.
Temptation Island.
Yeah,
Bro.
my girl's
Island is
watching that.
crazy.
Yeah, I watched
She's
it.
telling me to watch it, but I can't.
Bro, it's
I just-
hilarious.
Is there
It's
like a
hilarious.
guy from the UK or something? She's
a
like,
guy-
oh, you would love this guy from the UK, like the way he talks. I'm
There's,
like,
there's a version. There's a UK version. There's a,
Okay.
a North American one.
Yeah,
and
no,
you
the-
have a South American one.
Yeah, the one I think the one
the
I watched is
Spanish
the the Spanish one. I just found out there's a funny one where the guy runs on the beach and he's like, what do you say? Shit, I
name,
googled it. Yeah. What's
Some crazy. I seen it on Twitter.
hilarious?
Too.
He's running down the beach. He's like, no, and then she tries to hug him. Yeah,
yeah, I see that.
like crying.
Couldn't be me, bro. I feel like they're too
love
corny
shows.
for me.
Yeah,
That's
wait.
not for me. But there's some people who are like, I'm also an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, it's like to be going in a position where I can get made to look silly.
Yeah,
I'm not doing all that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you had a situation on the show.
I did.
with Claudia.
I did have a
Tell us
situation.
Yeah,
about that.
So that wasn't planned. Like I didn't go over there. Sorry, I keep getting caught. I didn't plan to go in there and have like a showmance with the rest. I'm open to it.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, if I'm being 1,000% honest, like it wasn't me that was pursuing her. It's actually
she
funny, like
pursuing you?
early on, very early on, like once we all started to mingle and vibe with each other, maybe 3 or 4 days in, production asked me like, is there anybody you're feeling in the house?
Oh,
I said, everyone's pretty cool, but I never mentioned no one's name in specific.
yeah.
So because I didn't mention anybody, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be doing no showmance. It's not there.
Yeah.
And then come to find out later that they were asking her about me, and she was like, yeah, Ty.
Uh.
So it was them. It was production. I was really pushing
That
for that
set
to
it up.
happen.
Yeah.
But I had a feeling that they wanted me in a showmance because of just like the process leading up to me getting on the show. There's certain things they're asking me and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, okay, I could see the type of person you want me to be.
Yeah.
I don't think I ended up being exactly what they wanted because
yeah.
of shit that happened very early in the season. They had to kind of flip it.
Yeah.
But I had an idea of the direction they wanted me to go in, and I wasn't gonna fight it. I mean,
Yeah.
Claudia's a cool girl, so no beef on my side.
Yeah.
You guys still in contact? Or?
Nah, I haven't talked to her.
Oh,
I haven't talked to her in over a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing her thing. It's all love on my side. I don't know if the feeling's mutual or not, but I'm not here like, again, trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and being
Trauma bond.
trauma bond, and then also again, like, you know, I know she has some feelings that aren't the most fun because I'm also the person she lost to, right? So,
Oh, she came second to you?
yeah. So she brought me to the
shit.
finale, and I won. That's what I was saying. Like, she's from the East Coast.
Yeah,
So she,
yeah.
as much as I was getting like bad, you know, feedback from the public, she got it bad too. Where it's like,
wow.
this girl's an idiot for bringing this misogynistic blah blah to the end and then losing. But people don't understand. Like, she was gonna lose either way. The final three was me, our boy Daniel C, and then her.
Yeah.
Neither of us could have sat beside DC. Like, he was loved. Like, I broke records for the most competition wins in the show's history.
Wow.
But I don't know if I would have stood a chance beside Daniel, and he only won one comp. But it's because his social game was crazy. Like, everybody loved this guy. True. So her best bet was to bring the guy that everybody hated, or at least who she thought hated. Because I thought, I'm like, for me, it was up in the air. I'm like, listen, either everybody went to jury bitter and upset at me because of all the shit that happened, and they're gonna use that to not give me their vote, or they're gonna sit down and put their feelings aside and say, yo, Ty played the fuck out of this game. Yeah. And he overcame, I think, more than anybody playing this game ever. I was playing against the house guests. I was playing against the public watching because, well, I don't know if you guys know, but like, there's times in the game where the public can vote to keep people safe.
Yep.
Okay. So during my first HOH, so when I was first in power and I had the opportunity to eliminate somebody, there was one person that I could have eliminated.
But you saved them.
No, that the public saved them.
Oh, the public saved them.
And that person, if I was to have eliminated them, this was right after the whole letter situation happened, where that was when people turned against me.
Yeah.
So this was my one time to like make it up to the house. There was one person that everybody wanted gone, and of course, who did Canada save? The one person that everybody wanted gone.
Yeah.
So it's like I couldn't even get her out. So now I had to change plans and take a shot at the people who I'm trying to mend things with.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it all worked out in the end. Yeah. So it was just a lot of stuff that I overcame, and I feel like, you know, Claudia has her own stuff that she's trying to deal with. And, you know, everybody's dealing with it. And
you know, for sure.
I just learned a new thing, trauma bond.
I knew that's a thing. It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome. But in a different way. Stockholm syndrome is like, I'm abusing you, so you're attached to me. Trauma bond is more so like, we're all struggling together, so we get each other. We just gravitate towards like, this person gets what I'm going through.
Interesting. So you mentioned production being able to like flip shit on the fly. How's that experience? Like how can they flip it so quickly?
When you're recording 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can get whatever you need from somebody. Because at the end of the day, in one day, when you're cooped up in one house with 16 other people, you're going through a million emotions, you're having a million conversations, so you can really nitpick. I want to show this 10-second clip of this 24-hour feed of this one person. You know what I mean? So I could be the nicest guy for 23 hours of the day. But if all you want to see, all you want people to see is that 1 hour, you have all the footage you need.
So they're just manipulating it to their.
Yes, and of course, like people's arguments, like, oh well, it doesn't take away from the fact that Ty said or did this. You're right. Maybe I was frustrated in the moment and I spoke a little aggressively, but what you're not seeing is all the nice things I'm doing for people and why people respect me still, right? Because they're not showing you that stuff. And there's actually one very funny scene where I'm getting into an argument with another one of my house guests, Santina, one of my dogs, and so she tried to eliminate me. But it was a secret. Like, nobody knew except for her. Like, she was nobody knew she was the HOH, and she was trying to get me out. But I figured out it was her. So I kind of put her on blast about it. And we were getting into an argument. I don't know if you guys seen. There's like I don't know what show it was, but Ray J. It's a viral clip where he's having this conversation with somebody. I think it was Safari. Ray J and Safari, and his hat keeps switching. That's me. There's a scene where like I'm talking to Santina, and every time you see me, my hat's in a different position. I'm like this. I'm like this. It's back. I'm like, if that doesn't show you the power of editing, and how they can literally take a conversation and rearrange it to make it sound a certain way.
Make it sound
it's the magic of TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you guys were 24 hours a day being filmed and watched by the production.
You can't go in any room without a camera, including the bathroom. Camera in there too.
So they're just seeing you willy-nilly when you're showering, no matter what.
You get used to wrapping yourself up so you're not seeing anything. In the shower, the showers are like you can see that person's head. So the body is covered from the door and all that, but you can see the person's head or whatever. So you obviously wrap yourself up before you walk out the shower into the cameras again. But the showers are probably the only place where you can have like actual privacy. Because even in the toilets, there's a camera in there, but it's for safety. So they don't actually use that.
Safety? What do you mean safe?
Like if someone passes out or something, or someone's super sick and you're just like no, because if you're locked in there and no one's
Yeah,
around, you're
yeah, yeah.
production has to be able to come in and help you. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
yeah.
That's nuts.
Wow.
man.
Like cameras 24 hours. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in there. The first couple of days are weird, and then after a while, you get used to it. Like I can't be saying certain things. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
And we can always edit
Yeah,
it out. You say something loud and shit.
Yeah.
But so I know you have a fitness and athletic background.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you played a lot of sports growing up, and then you started a fitness journey, becoming a fitness trainer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been into sports. Like soccer, I think is every kid's first sport,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that's how it started for me, and I was playing all the time. Like, so my entire friend group is from my soccer days when I was a kid. So
Nice.
like we grew up together. It's crazy the story we've all had. But I was into martial arts really heavy
Nice.
in middle school. Sorry. And then once I got to high school, I started playing basketball. Took that a little more seriously, and I thought, ball's life.
Yeah, of
Everyone's
course.
like, ball's life. We're going to the league. You know what I mean?
Everybody.
GTA hoops. Everyone wants to be on GTA hoops
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
stuff. But then I wasn't going to no fucking league. You know what I mean? So I quickly learned that. So I ended up getting into. I was always athletic though.
Yeah.
I think that's what allowed me to keep up with the kids who were actually talented
Yeah.
and who actually were gonna go play D1 or go.
Yeah.
I could keep up with them strictly because I was so athletic.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
run
yeah.
with them. I could jump with them. Whatever. But at the same time, I was like becoming more interested in like performance and like lifting weights and learning about proper training. Because like I said, I was naturally gifted, but I wanted to learn how to like hone that and actually like build on that stuff. So when I was in grade 12, I took a exercise physiology class or something like that, exercise science.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I love this. The science behind it and understanding, how muscles work and all the
Yeah.
different systems. I'm like, okay, well, I think that was the trigger point for me to open my mind to personal training.
Nice.
And in my first year of university, I got my certification, and my high school teacher was actually my first client.
Oh, nice.
So she gave me a shot, and that's like a second mom to me to this day. It's a funny
awesome,
story. She
yeah.
actually paid for me to go to university too.
Wow,
So
shout out to her.
crazy. Like I'm gonna write a book about my life one day because
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
many things that I can never get into in one conversation, but that are super important and like
Yeah,
pivotal
yeah.
in my life. But anyway, so ended up going to university, got my Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training.
Nice.
Came back here, and then I was my first job at Body by Chosen. Those
Oh,
were
yeah.
guys,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
It's a big
Yeah.
shout
yeah,
out to those guys.
yeah. Shout out to
yeah.
Dwayne and everybody over there, XP.
Yeah.
All those guys. So that was my first actual job as a personal trainer after graduating, and did that for like 8-9 years. So
Wow.
yeah, and then right before, I think the show was actually my pivoting point out of it because I was like, man, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, let me
It's
pivot a bit.
yeah. I'm like, okay, well, what's next? And then the show opportunity came up, and I'm like, damn, like this is my shot to like
Yeah.
pivot now. So yeah.
That's awesome. So, what are your biggest pet peeves in the gym? Do you still go to the? You still work
Oh
out?
yeah, yeah.
obviously,
I'm in there working out all the time. I just
Yeah.
don't train people. Biggest pet peeves, damn.
What gym do you go to first of all?
Well, right now I'm in Ottawa. I'm out in Ottawa, so
Oh,
it's a
shit, yeah,
one
okay.
one a gym called the Foot Above Fitness.
Okay.
Super dope. Pet peeves.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't really have many because I don't pay attention to people. Like I'm the type of person, I'm not socializing in the gym.
Yeah. Me neither.
I'm walking in because
Yeah.
funny enough, I love working out.
Yeah.
I hate being in the gym. If
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah, yeah, yeah.
contradicting,
No.
I'm trying to get in there,
And
get my
out.
shit done, and get
Yeah.
out.
Get out.
I'm not
Same
spending.
way.
I'm not spending
Same
2 hours
way.
in there, and I don't understand how people go in there and they're warming up for half an hour, 45 minutes
Yeah.
before they get to the workout.
Yeah.
I know
I'm in
guys
there.
like that.
I'm taking probably 10 minutes,
Yep.
and my first set is hit it at 10 minutes,
Yep.
and then I'm out of there 1 hour max.
Yep.
So
yep,
I
yep.
love the feeling of working out. It's great, but I just hate being. Like I said, I'm an introvert, so being in like big spaces like that, that's probably why.
Yeah.
It's like stressful to me. I have my headphones on, don't bother me.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
paying attention to you, don't pay attention to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't really have much pet peeves.
Yeah.
If someone who talks, then if someone who talks,
Yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
working out,
yeah.
See, that's a pet
that's probably a
peeve.
pet peeve.
Yeah,
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 But what
yeah.
about this new trend, the girls that record themselves?
Listen,
And
man.
then like Ty is just walking in the background.
Yeah.
And then they go and they post it online. Oh yeah, Ty is
I
beating my ass.
haven't had that happen to me yet.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean, and I think that I don't think it'll happen to me because, like I said, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think people like fitness is becoming a fad now, where people are going in there to try to get lit on the ground, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not going in there for that purpose. I'm going in there to
Yeah,
work out,
yeah.
take care of myself, and keep it pushing. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. 45
trust
minutes,
me.
I'm in and out.
Trust me, bro. I'm the same way. I got my headphones on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't talk to me, right?
Yeah.
But it's like,
Just keep it
hi,
quick.
bye.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't tell me about this, that. And then there's guys that just sit around, wait on the machine, talking to the friend, and I'm there like, yo, bro, you just spent like 30 minutes on that machine while I'm doing 6 other machines and or my workouts, and then I need to use that machine
know,
or
like,
that
keep it moving.
spot, and you're like, bro, like,
That's what I'm saying.
you know,
But some people treat the gym like
it's a social club.
But
Yeah,
it's not though. I feel like there's gyms with that. Like you go to what's the gym
Boulevard Club. Go to the Boulevard Club or the.
called? Yeah, you cannot know.
Altea?
Altea. Anyways, all of those gyms have
Yeah.
like
That
social aspect.
Yes.
Go hang out there.
Go hang out there. Yeah.
Don't talk to me when I'm sitting at
Yeah.
the bench press or in the squat rack
Bro,
trying to have a
telling
conversation. It's
you.
not the time.
Oh
See those
my
guys pulling up
goodness.
with a matcha,
Yeah, like-
you know, with their aloe outfits.
Yo, bro. What, oh, actually, one today killed me. I just noticed it more today. Is like there's these 2 guys that come to the gym, and they actually a few of them. It's not just them only. They carry their bags.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
get it either.
I don't understand what's in the bag because they don't take anything out of the bag. And then there's a locker that you can put your shit in with. You can put a lock, or you could leave it in your car because you're just dragging this
look.
bag around
It's a
for
look,
no
man.
reason.
I think it's like a
sense of
it's a sense of like,
Like
I'm a
what?
guy, but you're not a guy.
yeah, it's
There's
yo,
nothing
bro.
in the bag. You're,
Oh my god, I
Anyways.
seen it today and I was like, yo, this is I'm doing the dips.
I know what you
And-
mean. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
I'm like, why the
Random
fuck are these
bags,
2
just-
guys? I'm literally standing on the thing. I'm like watching them like dragging bringing their bags around, and I'm like, what do you have in your
sense.
bag?
Bro, it's the worst when you go like to these like the hood gyms and you see a guy with a side bag. You know.
yeah, now you don't know what's in there. It's like,
Now you
is
don't
it
know.
chalk or something else? No?
Yeah, like crazy, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah, the gyms is a crazy place, but it's a social club. A lot of gyms are
Yeah.
social clubs.
One thing I'll say is like, as much as I talk down about people socializing in there, I think it's also it could be a positive thing. At least people are going into an environment and they're doing that rather than whatever.
You're not
else.
wrong.
Yeah,
You're not
you know what I mean?
wrong.
Exactly. It could
It's
be
give
a
and take
positive.
with
But
both sides.
still, man,
Yeah.
like just shut up and keep it moving.
it.
You know, like say a few words of exchange
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
and
yeah,
keep
yeah,
going,
yeah.
man. I go to the gym in the morning, so I avoid all these people
Literally.
like that.
Literally,
6
early
a.m.
hours.
Yeah.
Lock in and get out.
So as a PT, do you have like your own workouts or like programs that you like sell to the public? Or
So I don't do it
clients?
anymore. I do it for like my friends and family. I don't offer it to the public anymore. I used to be into online stuff. Yeah, I mean, just like I said, I don't want to. I'm the type of person that if I do something, I like to do it all the way. So I don't want to like if my heart's not in it, I don't even want to entertain, doing it for a couple months and then like shutting it down. Because like, why am I going to waste my energy and people's time too? People are trying to invest in themselves, and if they're selecting me to
Yeah.
do that, I'm going to commit to you the same way you're committing to me, right? So
Yeah.
if I can't give that level of commitment, I'm not going to open that door. So for me, I program myself, and if like my friends or family ask for help, then I'll deal with them. But other than that, yeah.
All right. Here's a gym bro question. What's your favorite workout?
Exercise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, exercise.
Like, what do you like doing more than not? You like doing bench? You like doing back?
Arms are my thing. Like my
Yeah,
arms
yeah.
blow up. Like if I'm being real with you, like as much as I struggle with my calves,
Yeah.
my arms are the opposite. If I touch weights, my arms blow up.
Yeah.
I can sit there and pump calves for an hour and they're not freaking growing. It's annoying as hell. But yeah, I'd say arms are probably my favorite just because like I can get a sick pump very easily.
yeah.
Least favorite, deadlifts at one point were, but the thing with deadlifts is that I don't do them consistently. But when I do, I actually
Yeah.
start to love them.
Right.
So they're super uncomfortable and like my body gets super stiff and I've been prioritizing mobility a lot as of lately, and I feel like my body is like moving a lot better. So I feel like at the time where I hated deadlifts is because my body wasn't moving. Well, I was just like straight out of college and like I'm super stiff, just
Yeah.
like, not moving the way I should be. So I feel like maybe I could like them though.
Yeah.
But,
But how important is dieting, do you think, when it comes down to like working out for you? Or,
I think everything serves a purpose. Like, what I mean by that is, like, if people were to look at my diet, the average person could not eat how I eat and look the way I look. If I'm being completely honest, like people are like, yo, if you go to my car right now, there's a extra large pizza in there, and I'm gonna body that myself. I'm being real. Like I eat a lot of junk food.
Right.
But I've been working out for years, like very consistently, to a point where my body is like so accustomed to
Out training your diet, basically.
but the average person cannot do that. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like you can't outwork a bad diet is very true for the vast majority of people.
Right.
So in that case, diet is very important. Where it's like,
Interesting.
that doesn't mean you can't have your treats, you can have your pizza, you can have your cookies,
Yeah.
whatever, but it needs to be like a 90-10, 80-20 split max.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
where you're
yeah.
eating healthy for the most part, and then you treat yourself here and there.
Yeah.
If I'm being real, I have times where I'm just eating like trash. Like I'm eating crazy calories from terrible sources.
Yeah.
But my body isn't gonna
Yeah.
turn on me
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
the
yeah,
average person's
yeah,
body will
yeah.
turn on them for doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. So I kind of came up with this theory of like, if you're gonna eat something to treat yourself, eat it at like between 12 and like 2 or 3 o'clock, right?
In the day?
In the day, yeah.
Okay.
Because for me, at least for me, and it might be for other people, but it's like if I want to eat something, you know, like a sweet, like a cookie or something, just to treat yourself, right? You have from that time that you eat it between 12 or 1 and 3, let's say, till you go home to sleep, that you can kind of slowly burn it off, digest it, get it out of your system, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if people eat at nighttime, it's obviously just gonna stick in them, right? And it's not gonna, it's just gonna stay in your body.
yeah,
Right.
I at one point in time I would think like that,
Yeah.
same way.
Oh,
But the way my thinking has evolved, so to speak, is that 500 calories at 10 a.m. is the same
Oh, it's the
500
same.
calories
Okay.
at 10 p.m. You know what I mean? No, I'm just being real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So
That's fair.
I feel like either, no matter what time you're eating at, calories are calories. Like the simple math is, if you want to lose weight, you got to be in a caloric deficit.
Yeah,
If you want
yeah.
to gain weight, you need to be in a surplus.
Yeah.
So when you eat it, does it really matter? Maybe. Like for example, if you're eating carbs before a workout,
Yeah.
very good for you. They're your primary
Really?
source of fuel. So you want to have your carbs right before your
That
workout
was
to
like
power.
after.
You can have some after too, because the carbs help to shuttle the protein into your muscles to help you build. But they're also your first immediate source of energy. And what do you need to work out? You need energy to work
Yeah.
out.
Should
you
I
wanna
work out on an empty stomach?
Yeah, I mean, some people can do that. My girl
okay,
cannot
yeah.
do that. Like she's
Oh,
the
yeah.
most grumpiest person. She has to have a full meal. But if I have a full meal before I work out, I feel sluggish.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
that's
heavy.
why,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, I can't work out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I do all my eating afterwards. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying for most people, again, like if you need to eat, carbs to time them if you're trying to do timing.
Yeah.
Carbs right before your workout is great because your body's going to utilize them right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than you having it at 6 o'clock when
Yeah.
your workout was 6 a.m. and now you're,
Try that,
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's little things. Everybody's body is different. Everyone's schedule is
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Everyone,
Just gotta go
you know,
through it.
you respond differently to foods and different foods, even
Yeah.
down to some people might like a heavy fat meal before working out because it makes them feel satiated rather than having carbs where they might feel like they have a sugar crash.
Yeah.
Everyone's body is different. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You
What
got
do you think about the guys that come to the gym and they gear up?
Hey man, listen,
You mean the gym CEO? You seen that guy on Instagram?
Yeah. No,
You didn't
but-
see that? You seen that guy?
which one? Who is that?
He's this like skinny like Spanish-looking dude.
Oh,
and
and he's like
loads.
smashed,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
match straps on his leg.
Yeah, and he wraps everything.
That guy's hilarious, yo.
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm talking about that type of
I
I know you're talking about.
gear.
Yeah.
I don't knock anybody. Like I said, I feel like everyone's life goals are different. Obviously, if you're competing in a sport, like especially when it's collegiate or professional level,
Yeah.
come on, you gotta play a little fair because we gotta keep the level fair for,
sure,
everybody.
for sure.
But if you're juicing up because you want to look a certain way, you're in your 30s, 40s, and your testosterone levels are dropping. Hey man, your body's your body. I can't stop you. You know what I mean? So I think everybody does things because they have a certain image in their mind of what they want to look like and what is valuable to them. I can't tell you what to do or not to do. You know what I mean? I don't knock anybody in that sense.
That's a
Yeah.
well answer. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can tell this guy's media trained.
Speaking of diet, so now, what's your take on stretching before or after, or do you even stretch at all?
Yeah, no, stretching is important for sure. I think that, again, the more I'm learning and the more I'm experimenting with myself, is like static stretching, in my eyes, is kind of useless.
Static?
Static stretching is when you sit there and you just hold your toe for 30 seconds, whatever.
Oh.
I like the idea, and I'm feeling the fit. Like I've only been focused on mobility for maybe the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And the amount of progress I made in 2 months compared to however many years they've been saying static stretch is crazy. Like
Interesting.
I've never felt my hips feel great. Like I can move differently in ways that
Interesting.
I have not been able to without feeling, oh, this is tight.
Yeah.
Or this is painful.
Right.
So I think that being able to move your body through different, positions.
Yeah.
In ranges of motion under tension. So like being able to being in a
So
deep
like
lunge.
yoga, essentially.
Yoga's
Or
great. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yoga.
Pilates almost.
Yeah.
No, actually no. Maybe
They,
yoga.
I mean, both of them. Those
yeah.
are great
Mobility.
active stretches.
Yeah.
All mobility is like an active stretch.
Okay.
A passive stretch is when you're sitting there and you're just
Yeah,
holding.
yeah,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no real like effort.
Yeah. You're just stretching. The
Whereas when you're
muscle.
sitting in a deep squat and you're feeling the stretches in your muscles while they're activated.
Oh, I see.
Now we're talking
I see,
mobility.
I see.
So that's the difference between mobility and stretching.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So, yeah, to answer your question, or I think it was your question, but
Yeah.
stretching, okay, I'm not going to take away, stretching is important.
Yeah.
I think mobility is better.
Yeah, right.
But if you're stretching, that's better than not doing anything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
fair enough.
in terms of when to do it, I don't think there's any right or wrong time to stretch it. If we're looking at performance day again, you know, stretching before you need to utilize your muscles is not good because it actually shuts off the muscle. So you don't want to do a passive stretch before going for your PR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to warm up doing mobility to get the blood flow to whatever muscles that you'll be using.
Makes sense.
So that you can actually perform. And then after the fact, once you need to shut the muscles off, that's when you can do a passive stretch so they can fully relax. But you don't want to relax the muscle before you need it to work at its maximal capacity, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you can out-train David Goggins?
That guy's animal stuff. I'm gonna humble myself. David Goggins is a goat. He's different. I think that everybody trains differently. I feel like, you know, if it comes to, I think athleticism and fitness there's so many aspects to it.
True.
He is a fucking cardio, stamina, endurance animal. But now you throw someone like him into a game of where you need agility or skill. Now he might have a problem with me. You know what I mean? So I might be able to keep up with him on like a field of some sort of court. He might not be able to keep up with me that way. But when it comes to like running fucking 50 kilometers, he's out of here. You know what I mean? So there's different aspects of things where it's like, I'm sure I could outperform him in certain ways, just the same way he could destroy me in whatever he does, you know, running through the 50-degree heat and all this stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to ask.
No, I'm humble, bro. I'm like, I know my limits. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very confident, but I'm not going to sit here and just talk shit just for the sake of talking shit, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's hilarious. So you were in the military.
Yes.
So how was like, where did that come from?
So
How'd you get involved?
my dad's actually a vet, so he's been in now, I think, over 20 years because I'm 30. So, yeah, I think it's over 20 years for him now.
Canadian military, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, they had a co-op program to try the military. I'm like, oh, sick. Co-op, I can go try it for 6 months, and then if I like it, I stay. If not, come to find out the 6 months is done, they're like, no, you're in. Like, we'll see you for summer training. So I didn't realize they got me. I said, holy, you guys are finessing like that. It's crazy. So, but luckily, I loved it, and I was great at it. I actually got top candidate on my BMQ, so it's like I was like the top soldier for my basic course.
Yeah.
So that was like, again, I went in there thinking it was just gonna be like a test because I see my dad doing it growing up, and I'm like, okay, you know, the option's there for me to do it, and you know what teenager wouldn't want to shoot guns and do cool shit, you know what I mean? So I was getting paid to shoot guns and throw grenades. I'm like, yeah, why not? Sign me up. But I quickly learned that it's not
just about that.
It's the majority of it. Like I never got deployed, thankfully. So like I didn't have to go to at the time probably Afghanistan, wherever we were. But I think that now, if I was to join, that would be a goal of mine. Not to go to someone's country to do anything in particular, but like if I'm gonna join, I want to join for a purpose. At that time, it was a cool thing to do.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, if I'm joining because I want to serve my country for a bigger purpose. You know what I mean? So thankfully, at that time, I actually left because I was going to school in the States, so I couldn't stay in my unit because I couldn't. You have certain requirements that you got to be there every week. You got to do your certain courses, whatever, and I couldn't do that because I was away, obviously. Right. So thankfully, they were able to release me. But again, at that same time, I was having this mindset shift of, okay, why? Like, what's the purpose of this? And at that time, I didn't have a purpose. I was like, I'm just doing it because it's fun.
Yeah, and
so
I feel like a lot of people don't have a purpose.
Yeah,
especially like in America, because I went to school in America for like 2 years.
Nice.
And we had the same kind of program where it's called ICTS or something like that, like where like it's like they recruit you from high school. Yeah. And you're like you're wearing like the uniform in your high school, and you're like, you know, you're doing all these
saluting
things,
and everything.
Saluting all this thing, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, but a lot of the kids didn't have a purpose, and they're just in this program because it's an elective course, right? Where it's like counting to your credit, and then next thing you know, it's like you graduate high school, you're like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Okay, you're already a part of this program. Yeah, like
it's crazy because I just feel like, you know, take the military out of the whole equation. You look at kids graduating from high school now. I feel like the jump from high school to make a real life decision is so huge that this is the reason why we have people graduating from university with degrees that we never use. Yeah. Because it's like you're asking this 18-year-old kid, what do you want to do with your life? Yeah. Now make a $30,000 decision to go follow that.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
they're already in 2 years and like, yeah, this is not it for me because you're 20 years old now.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
already in halfway. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now I got to finish it.
Yeah.
And I'm in debt for however many years past this point, trying to catch up, right? So I think it's so backwards.
True, so true.
So the flip side to the military is like one thing I love about the military is the sense of belonging it gives you.
Okay.
Like as much as I didn't know why I'm here, the sense of belonging to something that I felt was honorable, and I still feel that way. I think serving anything is honorable. Like
Yeah.
for the people who don't know what they want to do, I think the military can give you a lot of skills and experiences that you will take with you for the rest of your life. So discipline too. Like there's so many traits that I feel like I still utilize to this day, whether I realize it or not, because they're ingrained in me that I learned from being in the Army or being around my dad, for example.
Right.
And I think that anybody could benefit from that. So as much as I'm not talking out of the Army at all.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people stumble into it because it seems cool without a purpose, and I was one of them.
Yeah.
But I took a lot of positive from that, and I would much rather make that decision than to take the route that the majority of people take, which is just to jump into a degree or diploma program because this is what I think I want, or this is what my parents want me to do.
Right.
And then you realize after the fact, well, I didn't get anything from this except for debt.
Right.
You know what I mean? And wasted time. Because like imagine doing a 4-year program, you're in debt, and you could have been working or testing the waters with different things in that time with zero debt to find something that you actually are passionate about and that you could build on, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, definitely. You said you threw grenades too?
yeah,
That's a real thing? Like where do we have a
grenade
training facility in
So I would do my training in two main places, in Meaford and Borden. So I think the grenades I was doing was I'm pretty sure I was in Borden. But either which way, you're in like it's a grenade hut. So you got to, if you're not on the range, you're in the hut. Because obviously you want to be around grenades and around people.
The shrapnel's going to hit
But like, even holding that is gut wrenching. It's like, yo, because I don't know if you guys understand how grenade works. You have the grenade.
I've held them.
Yeah, and you have like a pin.
Oh, the little pip.
Yeah.
It's called a spoon. If this spoon moves, this shit could be in your hand and blow up in your hand. So you really need to be aware of what's going on. So you have the pin that you pull out.
Yeah.
And then you remove the spoon, or you can just throw the whole thing, but the spoon removes from the grenade, and that's what sets off the timer to explode.
Oh, hold on. So there's a pin and then there's a spoon.
So the little hook you see on the side is the spoon.
That's a spoon. Okay.
There's a pin that holds the spoon to the grenade.
Oh, gotcha.
So when you see people do a grenade and they pull the shit, they're pulling the pin out.
Yeah.
They throw it,
And
and then when
then-
it collapses, the spoon falls off of the grenade,
Right.
and that's what allows
That's
it
what
to go off.
explodes it. Okay.
So it's nerve-wracking just holding a grenade there with the spoon in your hand, like, yo, if I'm
With the
holding this
pin out.
wrong,
Yeah.
with the pin out.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a whole procedure. Where you got to say certain commands so people know what you're doing. So it's slow. Like I'm sure in real war you're not.
You're not
taking your
calling
time.
out
It's
all
this.
this.
I'm gone. I'm just tossing. But when you're learning your drills, you take your time. Everything is very exaggerated. Like when you're driving. When you're doing your exam, you have to fully look over your shoulder. You're not doing that in real life, but you have to show the instructor you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you exaggerate everything. So the grenade is like full arm extension.
Yeah.
You call like so just that
Shit, that's
that 5
sick.
10 seconds is nerve wracking.
Yeah.
If this shit blows up on your
And
house,
shit,
everyone's dead.
How far do you have to throw it so you don't get?
It's not too far because you actually throw it behind like a barrier, and you're in front of a barrier too. So there's like a wall,
Right.
and that's like your shield.
But okay, say in real life though, like you got to throw that thing far enough for you not to get.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're not I'm not throwing it in an open area where if I don't have an arm of an MLB player, then I'm gonna hurt myself. You're probably behind a wall or something. So you can stand, throw it, and then cover yourself. Because you never want to be in a blast radius of that. There's people in the gas huts. When you're in the gas hut, you can feel the grenade go off from outside. Like it's like boom.
Yeah, holy.
It's like the best way I can explain it. If you're in a car with a super big ass speakers and the bass hits and you feel the thump, that's how you feel inside.
Wow.
So it's crazy in the hut. Yeah.
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I kind of like that. Like
It's crazy.
That
It's an
feeling.
adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like, again, you start to lose. I feel like people can get lost in that. This is cool to do this. It's fun to do this. Yeah, but like you're in the army, bro. You're
it's real life when real life hits too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and then on top of that, like you start to think. I mean, I don't know if everybody does, but the way my brain works, I'm like, this grenade is meant to kill somebody.
Yeah.
How would this feel if I threw this at some? What if I had someone throw this shit at me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you start to really think like
guilt,
it's guilt. It's not so much guilt, whereas you just become conscious of.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're trying to ask yourself deeper questions. Do I agree with where the military is putting their forces and putting their energy? We're going into other people's countries and like invading their towns and
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
using these things that are in my
Yeah,
hand.
to kill these people.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it makes you start to just think
Damn.
about
And even just
life.
by shooting guns, you're like, yo,
Down
this
to
is
that.
insane.
Yeah.
Shooting guns is very fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you use tracer rounds, like you do like night shoots.
Oh, you guys.
And you can use machine guns, and you can see the bullets flying through the air. It's like just like whizzing.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
red.
because you guys, it's military,
Yeah,
so you can have
it's crazy.
that.
So it's super fun.
Yeah.
But again, like thinking about
Damn.
a 5.56 round flying through
Yeah.
someone's chest, like, you know, it's crazy to think what one of those things can do.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and you're using
yeah.
a C6, it's going
Yeah.
like that would tear somebody in half. You know what I mean? So
Fuck.
it's just crazy.
What caliber
It's
are
just
those
crazy.
guys? Like 50
So
something?
I don't even know what
or-
those are. Like, those are
Holy shit.
big ass rounds, bro. So
Yeah, they're like
it just makes you start to
size
just,
of a pen almost.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's insane, man.
It's fun.
Yeah,
fun, but,
yeah.
like,
But I
it's
think that
dangerous.
you need to also, it's dangerous, and you
Yeah.
need to be like very aware of like, as fun as it is, these are also serious things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're no longer.
I'm not in
military.
anymore.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And-
Considering going back in though.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are?
Yeah, considering I've been thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay. And what if like you get deployed to a country that you know you like kind of like, and you like gotta go fight those people that you know you kind of like?
But that's the thing. You know what I mean? That's the dilemma that you get put in, where it's like, you know, you need to make a decision on whether you are gonna let your emotions
Yeah.
guide
True.
the way you navigate life, or do you have enough respect for what your country stands for and you trust in your leadership? Because ultimately that's what it is. Whether it's in the military or you work for a freaking Bell, end of the day, it's like, do I respect the people who are actually running this stuff?
Yeah,
I'm just a
yeah.
foot soldier. I'm not really calling the shots on what our motives are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whether you work for Bell Canada, because Bell Canada gets a lot of heat too. They have that the Bell Let's Talk.
Yeah.
Where people get on them all the time because they're like, yo, you're charging people who are in prisons crazy amounts of money to talk to their family.
Yeah.
Right? So you're telling people, oh, use my service, but then you're charging people who are most vulnerable, the most,
Yeah.
who need to get in contact with the family. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think it's all about understanding the organization you're serving. And I feel like,
Yeah.
I do feel like, at least in comparison to a lot of the other powers in the world, that Canada is relatively good in terms of not inserting themselves where they don't belong.
War,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Canada we're not a
Yeah,
war type
we
of
should be
We're
like more of a
not.
peacekeeping
We are,
country.
well,
Like,
that is what the majority of you know,
Yeah.
Canada's deployments are. They're peacekeeping missions. Like you
Yeah.
have, especially in the Middle East,
Yeah.
like we're kind of mediators between the
Yeah,
people who are
yeah.
actually fighting. Right?
Yeah.
So, and I think it's showing even more now between Canada and US. US is a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
Where we're starting to have a little bit more Canadian pride and say, no, we're not gonna bow down to you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're
yeah,
standing.
yeah.
We have our own vision and what
Yeah.
we want to do with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We're
It's not for sale.
Imagine,
not for
imagine us
sale.
go to war with America.
It'd be crazy.
We're
Yeah,
cooked.
we're cooked, but at the same time, it would not be, in my eyes, it wouldn't be good for the
Us?
U.S. on the world stage.
Yeah.
Because people need to understand how big of a landmass Canada is.
Yeah.
If another country was to come over and take our land,
Yeah.
the U.S. is cooked.
Yeah.
It's in the U.S.'s best interest to make sure that we are
Yeah.
on good terms.
Yeah.
So you need to
even
think,
see
you
it
got to
like
think
that.
bigger
Yeah.
than that. It's like the U.S., of course, is
Well, they got Alaska. That's why they took Alaska from us. Because you know that Alaska and Russia are like 230 miles.
crazy. You can see them across the water.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
Neighbors, yeah. So it's like it's all like the majority of things are geographic.
Yeah.
However, I think we're also moving into a time now where it's like, with the amount of nuclear weapons that we have, if World War III pops off, we're all dead.
Yeah.
There's-
The
it
entire world
doesn't
is
matter. Yeah,
collapsing.
that's what I mean. Like even the U.S. is like, cool, you have the most.
Yeah.
But it only takes one.
Russia has the most.
Ru-
I think they're beating them by like
Oh,
a couple, I think.
No, China, I think, has the most.
No,
it's
it's,
not
it's
China.
Russia.
It's either
It's
Russia or Russia.
It's Russia. I seen it the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a lot of
They're
stockpile.
not beating them by like much. It's like if they just continue the production, I think they'll just be like at par. You know?
But it doesn't matter. It's overkill.
Yeah.
Like, there's way more nuclear bombs out there than is needed to destroy the Earth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
One country has enough nuclear power to destroy the
Yeah.
entire Earth. So now, if
Yeah.
all these countries are now trying to bomb each other,
Yeah,
we're all dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pointless.
And where are you gonna hide after somebody
Bunkers.
sends the new?
Man,
You're still
those-
gonna get
yeah,
toasted,
yeah.
bro.
Underground bunkers.
Hey, you're gonna get
I don't
toasted.
think those. I think those. Like I said, with the
Yeah.
amount of bombs, I don't even think bunkers are safe.
No,
I don't.
Why do you think
you would have
Bill
to
Gates is
find.
building bunkers? And
you would
all
have to
these
find-
bro. You can go to the Earth's core. You throw a shit ton of. You throw 3,000 nuclear bombs across the world. It's gonna go through the entire Earth, hit the core, and destroy the entire Earth.
And what the Earth Earth just wanna
You better
spill
be in
over.
space. Yeah, you better be in
like a
space.
Maltese or some shit.
It'd be
What do you
freaking
say?
dust.
Bro,
at that
it'd be,
point,
we're
man.
dusted.
Yeah, we're dust.
It'd have to be another new fucking whole 4 billion years of civilization to reoccur
it's crazy.
again.
There's a show called on Netflix called The 100. I don't know if you guys seen that. It's called The 100.
Yeah, but I've never seen
I watched the first like season or two. It just got super weird afterwards. But when I started to think, there's a lot of shows that I have these moments where I'm like, yo, we're actually headed in that direction. But anyways, The 100, it starts off in space. There's like a community in space. They're in this like, it's basically like a space station. So it's like a whole town of people. I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people. So they have they have a government. They have the regular civilians who do their jobs. They have a prison in space. And then you come to find out that they want to send people back to Earth. So you learn later on that the Earth is uninhabitable or has been for how many years. And you put two and two together, because nuclear. But you don't realize that. So they send the prisoners as their dummies. So they set them up with all these like health trackers, whatever, to make sure that they can track, are they alive still, basically? Is it habitable?
Yeah.
Set them down. And then there's people who actually live on Earth. But those people have actually adapted to whatever nuclear shit. So they have this element in their blood that allows them to survive.
Right.
Okay.
So now the people from space who are like humans are coming back to Earth
To try to get it
to capture the people who have been who have the elements in their blood, to take their blood, to immunize themselves. It's a very crazy theory.
I need to watch that. That sounds
It's a very crazy theory, but if in theory it could be a case where it's like you might, if the world was to pop off in World War III and the whole Earth was bombed with nuclear shit, you might have certain bunkers that do survive.
Yeah.
You have your little pockets of people who do survive, and then once the world's over, they might be able to repopulate and become people who actually inhabit the Earth. And then you have people like Elon Musk who are looking at
about to
Mars
say,
and stuff, who could become that outer space civilization who would want to come back eventually, right? So
that's why
thing.
Donald Trump is now friends with Elon, because he probably knows something that he's gonna start just throwing some nukes and then he's gonna take off into space.
But I don't think they're gonna do that, but not in our lifetime, at least.
Okay, so here's my take on it. So what's the point of all of that? Because at the end of the day, the goal is money,
It's
right?
to show dominance.
Right.
Point.
But
what's the point of all of what?
like
Nukes.
like the nukes, like what's to me there's no reason of going to war, because the whole objective of life is to be having the most money, having a good life, right? So why would you kill the people that are funding your life, right? Your wealth, because us little non-rich millionaires are buying the millionaires' products, the billionaires' products, right? You get rid of our civilization, what happens after? Like, how much are you worth after that?
My I guess rebuttal to that would be, is it easier to control 7 billion people or to control 100?
Absolutely, but what's the point?
Well, I mean, if you can control something from the grassroots level and you grow it, like slavery, for example, it sounds crazy, but you start with a couple of slaves and that's all they know. So every time they breed somebody or somebody's born, that person is born into being a slave. We are such a woke society now where we're starting to talk out against people like Donald Trump or all these world leaders that they're losing control. You see all these like I guess memes on Instagram where it's like, if the people just stand up, the powers to be can't be.
Yeah.
Right? And we're getting to a point where people are starting to wake up and there's so many of us that they could lose control.
Yeah,
if we decide to say, no, fuck this, we're not.
They see it as
They
a
see
threat.
it's a threat.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you can diminish that population and start from scratch again, then the elites stay elite.
Yeah, but they're always gonna be elite.
No, but what I'm saying is like they're elite now, but if the masses.
Oh, you're saying
wake up.
they're trying to get rid of the ones that are gonna speak up.
I'm not saying that it's just all. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
conspiracies, right?
Conspiracy.
I'm just thinking like, why? It was just to answer your question.
Yeah,
of, like,
yeah,
what's
yeah,
the point?
yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
easier to control 100 people than to
Yeah,
control 7 billion. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
No, it's crazy. Like the world is growing rapidly. The population is like 8 billion.
Yeah, something like that.
Crazy
Yeah,
amount.
8 billion.
And people woke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like people are seeing all these world issues just through
Yeah.
social media. Before we would never know what was going on across the continent, right?
Yeah.
But now we're like, oh, that's what's happening.
That's what I
mean.
So
Yeah.
we're all like being
information
rebellious.
is powerful, man.
Yeah,
The fact
yeah.
that like social media and like is able to transmit something like that.
Seconds.
Yeah.
You know, all these things that we are seeing on the news now have been going on forever.
Yeah.
But we're only finding out about it now because of how accessible it is, right? So it's the more information we're being fed, the more we're realizing, holy shit, like there's problems here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time before somebody or something triggers something else and the masses, and we're like, nah, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What's your favorite war movie?
well, I'm not a movie person.
You know?
if you haven't
You
realized
had
it.
to watch at least one war movie that when you were like in the military that you're like, this is my shit.
The only movie that I can tell you that I watched time and time again is The Grinch.
The Grinch.
The Grinch.
I don't watch no war movies. I don't watch movies, bro. You know what my problem is? It's like I find that if a movie can't hook me in the first 10 minutes, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man, I just laid here for 2 hours. I didn't even get anything from it. So
Yeah,
I'm a big documentary person. I watch a lot of episodes. I could eat those up all day. I'm like, because it gets right to the point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But movies is hard for me to get into.
Really?
Hard, yeah.
I like Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard about that a million times. Never watched it.
Yeah.
Never watched
Real
it.
good.
Yeah. I don't think I've watched it either.
Watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And even like the one with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm the same way. Like documentaries are my thing. If it's something that's true, that's something I can learn something from, I'll 100% watch it. If it's a true story, I'll also watch it. But I know sometimes they're like, they stretch the truth a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, war movies. The reason why I don't watch war movies too much is because it's like at the end of the day, it's always America is saving the world.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, bro. Like, you guys can't be the only ones that exist on this planet.
It's true.
You know?
But
So,
it's the way it's propaganda, bro. It's
Of course,
they
of
use
course,
it
of
through
course.
movies, through radio.
yeah, they're
through
patriotic, right? So,
everything.
It's actually crazy, like when you think of how advanced we are supposed to be as Americans. This is something I talk about with my friends because it's funny. I went to school in the States, obviously, and I would ask my friends, like, where are you from? Like, what's your background?
Lebanese.
Okay, what's your background?
Tanzanian.
If I ask my friends from America, America, I'm from Texas. What do you mean I'm from Texas?
Yeah.
Your skin's black, brother.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
from
yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
where's your
yeah.
family from? They don't know.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you, like, when we're judging, I'm not saying North Korea, the way they operate is
Yeah.
right, because all they know is one thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like America is very close to that, where it's
Yeah.
like they only know America.
Yeah.
They don't know anything past that point. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see how we are so quick to judge other people's cultures and how they raise
Yeah.
their population.
Yeah.
When we're
Yeah.
very much on that same wavelength over here, and people are very ignorant. You know.
Yeah.
it's wild.
So true. I said the same thing yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
I was like,
How, Americans identify themselves like,
Yeah.
say, like
African American.
Yeah.
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 Latin American.
Yeah, but they don't know, like, what I can tell you. My family's from Jamaica.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
mom's side's from England. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm Canadian, but we're from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But Americans have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
Bro. It's crazy.
So funny.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what can we do, man? It's like, the elites are in power.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, now we got to start saying, we're from Toronto.
Literally.
I'm from Toronto. I'm Toronto. I'm from Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Gotta represent the six.
Of
the city,
course.
man.
Always.
We got to be
Yeah, man.
patriotic.
No, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
Coming here, sharing some game, like some insight on your life,
Yeah, man.
your experience on the Big Brother show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
having me, man.
Yeah. What's yo? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say our famous question.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are
yeah.
5 things that? Well, you're from Toronto. Yes. So
Yeah.
what are 5 things you can't live without in Toronto when you're in Toronto?
I'm in Toronto. Gosh. Jamaican food.
Maybe, bro.
What's your favorite? What spot?
I mean, Willie's Jerk was the spot I grew up on. I was like right across
Yeah,
right corner
yeah.
from my spot. So
Willie's
They're not even-
No, at Finch and Weston.
they're not there anymore. They have one now. I think
Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. Yeah.
Where
Not
at
that
Finch
one,
and
though.
Weston?
No,
No, at
Sheridan
Sheridan
Mall.
Mall it's still
Right
there.
outside.
Finch and Weston's not.
Yeah,
anymore. It's
it's
a Pizza
not
Nova
there.
or something now.
Yeah.
But that was my spot growing up. I was like,
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
spot. So Willie's Jerk. What else, man?
Damn, that just made me hungry.
Yeah.
I love the water. So I always go down to Humber Bay Park.
Okay.
I chill out there. That's
Yeah, yeah.
I go down to meditate and manifest. That's my spot.
Yeah. On Leslie, right on that side there.
No.
Parkline.
Parkline.
Yeah.
Parkline.
Humber Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Humber Bay.
Okay.
Where else? It's a good question, bro. I always go back to my neighborhood. I go check the daycare that I grew up in at
Nice.
Fitch and Western Road. So
Nice.
that's a great reset button for me when I go down there and see like my people still there. That's tough,
3.
bro.
Yeah, that's 3.
I don't want to because I want to be giving up like, oh, the CN Tower. Like, come on, like I'm not a tourist. Like,
No, like things that are close to you, right? Like
Things
what
that really represent like you,
Yeah.
like from Toronto. Like this is me. This is like my thing.
Yo, honestly,
Your
I'm not gonna
favorite
lie to you. Like,
barber or your favorite.
oh
Like,
yeah, of course, my barber. Shout out to Ray. When I'm in the city, have to go check my boy Ray.
Oh, you go to Western Fringe too?
No, well, Ray's. You're talking about Ray's
Yeah,
barber. So that was
yeah.
me when I was a kid.
Oh, okay, okay.
My barber that was Ray Diego.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah,
at
yeah,
Studio
yeah.
6, or sorry, it's the Real Pub now. But
Yeah.
so Ray, so my barber, and then just like honestly, just the streets, bro. Like it's crazy. I'm in Ottawa now, like I said, and I came back maybe a month ago, and it was like maybe 3 months before that I hadn't visited, and we're just driving. I'm just like, yo, like emotions.
Yeah.
Like just seeing certain things. Like it didn't have to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
I might just see a street corner. I'm like, yo, I remember coming on here. Like just listen, nostalgic, bro. Just listen
Yeah.
to music. I'm like, I can still hear the songs that I'd be listening to driving down the street. So just the essence of the city, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just love Toronto. Like anywhere I go, people know where I'm from.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
one thing
yeah.
that I don't give a fuck what anybody or how anyone feels about Drake. The fact that that guy represents us no matter where he goes and comes back here and loves us the same way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even when people are tearing him down in his own city,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
still reps us. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
no one could catch me about that guy.
Nope.
No,
Like
he's
that
a
guy,
legend.
legend, and
He
nobody
kicked-
can ever take
kicked
that
down the
from him.
door for all
Yeah.
Everybody,
Toronto
and that's
Canadians.
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, what that guy did for, like, the fact that we are in the conversations of being the best in anything compared to
course.
America now, who did that for us?
That's why they're all mad at us because of that.
Yeah.
It's literally like
We have the best art. We have the world's best artists.
period.
Period.
Rapper
From our city.
Weekend, Bieber,
Yeah.
Tory Lane,
Tory, yeah.
like, Party, like
Yeah.
Party's writing some of your biggest favorite records for your biggest artists. So like
Yep.
we can have those conversations. Too, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Hey,
It's
exactly.
true.
I'm so proud to be from Toronto, man, and
For
just like
sure.
in Canada in general, and like everywhere I go, I make that known, bro. Like no one
Yeah,
can take that
yeah,
from me.
yeah.
I'll never be ashamed to say
Yeah.
where I'm from. Like
Bro,
Yeah,
I've,
bro.
I've said this before, but you inspired me to say it again. When I went back to Lebanon years ago too, and one guy asked me, I know you're Lebanese, but where did you move
Yeah.
to? I'm like, I'm from Toronto. He's like, oh, Drake.
Drake.
I was like, how the fuck
Crazy,
do
yeah,
you know?
literally,
And this is
bro.
not when Drake was like blowing up.
Not
It was
there yet.
just like, he came up with a couple songs or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, Drake. I'm like, how the
Yeah.
fuck do you know Drake? He's like, do you know Drake? I'm like, I don't know him,
Right,
but
yeah, of course.
he's from my
Yeah.
city. Like, I've seen him a couple times at Rabba. Shout out Rabba on
what I mean,
Lakeshore.
though.
He knows what if he sees, he knows what I'm talking about. But he doesn't know me. I just seen him, right?
Yeah.
Years ago. But yeah, I was like, how the fuck do you know,
That's
about
impact, bro.
Drake?
That's
That's
impact.
the impact. Yeah, no.
That's
shout out
impact.
to
Right?
the boy, man.
Worldwide impact, bro.
Boy,
Like,
boy
Crazy,
put on heavy for the
crazy.
city,
Crazy.
kicked down that door for us, and
Yeah.
what? As a Torontonian, I could not be any more proud of being
Literally,
Yeah.
from the city.
literally.
Yeah.
I'm sure you feel the same ways.
For sure.
Bro, I was
for
out
sure.
in school in the States at the same time the thing with Meek Mill was going on. When he dropped
Oh,
back to
yeah.
back, and there was one of my boys was on the team. He's from Philly.
Yeah.
When he dropped back to back, he's like, "Okay, you got it, bro." I'm like, that was the I will never forget that moment in the change room. He's like, "You got it, bro."
Got it, bro.
Like what this guy did is
Yeah.
undeniable,
And I
bro.
love that Drake put on so heavy because it's like a lot of people thought Canadians are soft.
That's what I mean,
Yeah,
bro. And even to
yeah.
this day,
Stand up for ourselves.
even to this day, people are like, "Oh, you're Canadian, you're soft."
you're soft.
I'm like, bro, like you guys understand? To this day, this guy's been banging on all your guys' favorite rappers,
Yeah.
and nobody
It's like a
cracked him still.
decade.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Come
So
on, man.
it's
Yeah,
undeniable.
even when he went against Pusha, I was like, damn,
Crazy.
Pusha.
Crazy.
But Pusha's one of my favorite artists too.
Yo,
But
I liked Pusha.
yeah,
But my problem with it is that the same in my eyes, and this goes for a lot of, it's not just Pusha. I
Yeah.
think the same thing with this Kendrick thing too, where it's like a lot of things that people talk about why they don't like Drake, their favorite artist is guilty of the same thing. And let me put it into perspective. Everyone's like, oh, all Drake does is rap about emotional shit. Cool. What does Pusha T rap about?
yeah,
The
Gangsta
same
shit.
keys
Yeah,
he's been
yeah,
selling
yeah.
since he was
Yeah,
however,
yeah.
however old.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then they get
Yeah.
on Drake about this guy's pushing however, 38 years old and he's still in the clubs or whatever. What does Future rap about? That's
Yeah.
all he fucking raps about.
Yeah, yeah,
That's-
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
it's just like it's time after
Yeah.
the contradictory like perspectives on this guy
Yeah.
it's like people are just reaching for a reason to hate him.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that only happens when you've been dominating for so,
so
long,
long.
and people are just waiting for
Yeah.
any reason for that downfall to happen.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what it is. They build you up so much until
To
they
tear you
tear
down.
you
Yeah.
down,
It's
right?
too,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's too late. You can't. He has to step out.
Yeah.
You can't take that guy out. And like if this situation with Kendrick didn't show you that,
Yeah.
I don't know what else you need to see. Like this
Yeah.
guy is he's certified.
And just the way he handled it is just even
Certainly.
beyond. you
Even
know,
down to the
yeah.
I don't mean to sorry, I keep cutting
Yeah,
you guys
yeah, yeah,
off.
no,
But
it's
even
okay.
down to the lawsuit, people are honestly how do you sue over a lawsuit? But let Jay-Z go sue a corporation.
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
man sue
yeah,
to get
yeah,
him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Drake does it. Oh, it's a problem.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
come on,
of
bro.
course,
Let's get real
of
about it.
course.
Listen, it's
true.
like these guys are slandering this guy
Yeah, yeah,
to bring
yeah.
down his value.
Yeah.
He is his business. He's feeding all the people around him.
Yeah,
He puts
yeah.
on so much
Come on,
people,
bro. Like,
Like,
you
Yeah.
think
put
I'm
on
su-
Kendrick.
literally,
I'm telling.
Put him on a
Yo.
tour.
literally.
Bro, I've never listened to a Kendrick song. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not joking. I'm
Yeah.
not joking.
The craziest part is that people take
Bro.
that as saying he's not talented. Kendrick is very talented.
Talented, yeah.
But you cannot put him on the same level as Drake. Like,
No.
let's be real.
Drake,
So,
Drake
No.
ticks every box of like
Crazy.
artistry.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and especially when you look at it like from a record label's perspective, like
Yeah.
right
as a
on
product,
paper. Yeah,
as a product,
exactly.
There's no comparison.
Drake is like beyond up here. Kendrick is like he's got just a little enough to just get the record label like man,
Bro,
this guy, we gotta do some expense dumping and like
literally.
fraudulently do some numbers for taxes
Yeah,
because he's hurting us over here, right? Where it's like
crazy.
Drake is like, shit, this guy's making us too much money. The fuck do we do with
He's
it?
getting too this. But that's what I'm saying. When people get too powerful, like when
Yeah.
the power is now shifting from the label to Drake, it can stand on his own 2 feet. He doesn't need the label. no
Yeah.
more. He's
Yeah.
saying, "I'll work with you guys, but I want the bag."
Yeah, yeah.
And now you're trying to tear down his name, tear down his value.
Yeah.
To stop him from getting the bag. That's where the problem is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
The man.
Toronto versus the world.
Versus
Yeah.
the fucking world, for real. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
100%.
whole
Imagine
movement, bro.
we could have never have said this like years ago.
Never.
Never.
Ever,
Never.
right? Like, who
Nobody.
would have ever thought?
But hey,
Crazy.
we're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We made
You
it.
know what?
Yeah, yeah.
The future
Nigga, we
is-
made it.
Nigga, we made it. Exactly. The future is bright, man.
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate you, man, so much for coming by. You know, like I said, sharing your perspective, your game. Let us know what's your socials for anyone that wants
Yeah.
to follow you, tap in.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm on Instagram at Ty McDonald. I don't really use TikTok, but I'm on there the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram is my main thing. So just follow me
cool,
on there
yeah.
and yeah, just
Yeah,
tap
we'll
in.
make sure we put it in the description
Yeah,
too
yeah.
as well.
Much love.
Anything we should look out for the remainder of the year? Any special projects?
I'm always cooking. Just keep an eye out. Something's coming.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Can't
cool.
say too much.
I love that. I love that. I love that, man. Yeah, no, we appreciate you. Like I said, man, you know, gotta
Appreciate
give
you guys
your
too.
Flowers. You
Yes,
know,
Yeah,
sir. No,
yeah.
much love. I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down and chat with me, bro. It means a lot.
For sure.
1000%, bro. Your work ethic, it's impeccable, bro.
Much love.
You know, from all the transitions of your, you know, your
Yeah.
journey. It's amazing to hear. And we can't wait for that book. I can't wait.
It's
For that.
Yeah,
it's- I thought about it, and then people were telling me you need to come up with a book, so it's gonna happen at
Sure.
some point.
Listen, I'll put you on. Just go to ChatGPT.
I know it. Write me a 326 page biography of my life.
Just start talking to it and say,
Yeah.
"I need you to write me a book."
Yeah, literally.
And then and just it'll probably ask you what about, and then
Yeah,
you tell
yeah,
her, and then and
We're getting to a point with that.
Yo,
No,
it's
it's
I
crazy.
got you, man. That's free.
Good time, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
No,
man.
Like I said, appreciate you. If you guys like this episode, make sure you go comment, share it to your
Yep.
friends, like the content, follow us, subscribe, tap in with Ty, and tap in with me and Zico. I'm your host, Aaron Bills.
Zico, you already know.
Peace and love. Till next time, we out.
Peace.